This is Eric Alexander, Six Arrows Consulting, and today I've got Gary Wells with us. Gary and I worked together at the bank. We were both on the executive team, and good friend, good colleague. And the topic I want to talk about today with Gary is culture and values. And he's a person who's passionate about this, so you'll want to hear what Gary's got to say.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay.
Pleasure to be here. An honor to be here.
Grateful that you're here.
Yes, sir.
All right, question one. What is culture? And why does it matter for an organization?
Well, I think, Eric, culture is probably one of the most powerful forces on this planet. If you think about it, you look around the world and the cultural forces at play. Look around our country, the cultural forces at play.
We have some, yes we do.
Yes, we do. Think about the last 10 years. Think about our lifetime, the last 50, 60 years, the cultural changes in the U.S. I mean, they're powerful. That same cultural power is also affecting the business world too. And I think in the business world, culture is not so much who you are, it's what you do. It's a way of life, how you do things. It drives your company, it drives your business. I heard once that it said that culture eats strategy for breakfast.
I think that's Peter Drucker.
He put it.
Love that quote.
Nothing wrong with strategic planning, it's important. But if you don't have the culture to back that, your plan's not going to work. So culture is a powerful force in the business world. And I think most companies, nonprofit, for-profit, would say one of our cultural values, if you will, is exceptional customer service. We've all played say that that's part of a good cultural company. Well, if you don't live that out, if you don't train to that, it's just words on a page. Doesn't mean anything, and your customer will see right through it. Your staff will see right through it, and it starts at the top and works its way down. An example of that I saw here a few years ago. I was in a store, and I couldn't find the product I was looking for. I saw an employee coming. He had a badge on. I knew he was an employee. I'll just ask him a question. So as he got closer, I stopped and I said, "Excuse me, could I ask you a question?" He didn't even stop. He went right on by me. As he went by, he said, "I'm sorry." No, you think he said, "I'm sorry." He said, "I'm on break." And went right by. I thought, well,
okay.
He didn't get the memo. he didn't get the training. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But if that kind of culture is pervasive in that company, they're not going to make it long. They're going to start down soon. So it's an important aspect of any business, and if you don't live those out, if you don't train to those, then you're not going to make it. And I don't think perfection is the answer. If you're a perfectionist, you're not going to be happy.
Right.
You're just not. But you can't expect excellence. You can't expect excellence. The minute you accept mediocrity, I think that's the minute you start down. Your sales down, your profits down. Not the day, not the week, not the month. But the minute you accept mediocrity, is when you start the downward spiral.
Start some decline.
Yeah. And Eric, it happened again just this week. I was in a store.
Same store?
No, different store. And remember, we're in a free enterprise system. There's competition out there. I haven't been back in that store that happened the first time very often. It happened again this week. Different store, same scenario. I walk up to an employee. He's in the aisle this time with the phone. And I said, "Excuse me, can I pick your brain just for a second?" He looks at me and says, "I'm on break." "You'll have to ask somebody else." And he points me to the front of the store. And I just thought, wow. Again, not going to last long. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but if that's a pervasive attitude in their company, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. People will see right through that. So you've got to live it out. And when you define your values and you're living those out, you're going to attract top talent.
Right.
People want to be associated with something bigger than themselves.
People will self-select in and out based on culture.
Exactly. And so when you create that, when people feel valued and supported and engaged, they're motivated to do their work too. And more people want to come, more talented people want to come. And it also helps prevent burnout. You know, when you feel connected to a team and you're valued and supported, you're going to be there. You want to be there. So that's why I think culture is so important. It hits the bottom line. I'll share with you a statistic later too. But that's why I see culture. It's not necessarily who you are, It's what you do. It's a way of life. It drives your business.
That's powerful. You've already talked a little bit about something I want to ask about, but dive a little deeper. In the bank, we experienced a distinctive, a robust, a well-respected culture. What are things we do in an organization to strengthen the culture, strengthen those values you're talking about? You
Right.
touched on some things, but
So how do you build that? How do you build that strong culture?
Right.
Yeah. Eric, there's lots of resources out there. Articles have been written, books have been written. I'm going to share with your audience a couple of books here in a minute. But in my 38 years of being in the banking business, seeing our culture and then seeing other cultures within the business world, there's just some thoughts I have about how you create a strong culture, a successful company. And number one, no specific order, by the way. These are just thoughts. Focus on other people.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on others. We are not on this earth for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to serve. We're here to serve. The golden rule. Gosh, Eric, if we could just all get that, do unto others how you would have them do unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the work environment? Can you imagine the world if we just lived out that?
That's good, Gary.
The golden rule. Just,
I need that reminder.
yeah, absolutely. Me too.
Good.
Every day. People want to be appreciated.
Mm.
The great philosopher, Mark Twain, he once said, I can live 2 months on a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard you say that
And
multiple times through the years.
It's not hard to do. Just being nice to somebody, complimenting their work, complimenting their new haircut, whatever. But be genuine, be sincere. Nobody wants to be flattered. Flattery is insincere. Flattery is just really telling somebody what they think about themselves to begin with. That's not what I'm talking about. But pass on a compliment. Focus on others. Try to make somebody's day a little better just having been around you. Yeah. Another way to create, I think, a strong culture is create a family environment. A lot of successful companies don't use the word team member or group. They're family. They're a connected unit. They do life together and they do work together. In a family unit, you're going to have some conflicts. You're going to have some issues. They work those out.
Right.
But when you start hearing your staff talk about, I'm part of this work family, you know you're getting there from a cultural perspective. So use that word family. Try to create a family environment. This next one, not as fun.
Okay.
Not as fun, but equally as important. Eliminate the bad apples. Eliminate the bad apples. One bad apple truly can spoil the whole bunch. And there's a great book out there I read years ago called Good to Great. Written by Jim Collins. Super book. I think any business leader should read that. He studied companies that were good companies, went on to be great companies, and sustain their greatness over a period of time. Some fell off.
Right.
He didn't want to study those. He wanted to study the great companies, he and his team. And what we're talking about here about the bad apples, he writes a chapter on getting the right people on the bus and getting the wrong people off. It's so important that you get the wrong people off the bus. Not easy, not fun, but once you get the right people on the bus, that bus may go places you never even thought of. You may want to go from A to B, but you get the right people on the bus, you could go to C and to D, basically get to B, but get them on the right seat too. Sometimes you've got the right people, but I just need to move them around. Their strengths are over here in this area versus this seat on the bus. So eliminate the bad apples.
Sometimes they just need to go flourish elsewhere.
Yes.
Or maybe we wish them on our strongest competitor.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's folks that I've seen it in their career change. They got let go, whatever happened, and they've thrived elsewhere.
Right.
So sometimes we're doing them a favor. Yeah. So
right.
eliminate the bad apples quickly in your organization. As a leader, as a manager, be vulnerable. Be willing to be vulnerable. Be humble. There's 3 words I think that we should use often as managers and leaders sometimes, and that is, I don't know. I don't know.
It's true, we may as well admit it.
Exactly.
Lots of the time.
Exactly. Now, there is a skill set you need to possess, or you would, or you wouldn't be in that position. But nobody has all the answers, so seek input. Ask questions. You got good people around you. Utilize that talent. and just be willing to be vulnerable and say, I don't have the answers, folks. Let's talk about it. Here's another one.
Okay.
This one was not hard for me to do at all. Hire people smarter than yourself.
It's powerful.
Hire smart people. And then once you get those smart people on the bus, listen with curiosity to what they're saying. And that goes in your personal relationship too. Oftentimes I think we listen with wanting to give an answer. But if you listen with curiosity, you learn things. And good people are better than good ideas. Yeah. You can have the best idea in the world. If you don't have the right people to execute, it won't work.
It's good.
But you get good people, smart people, they'll come up with good ideas too. So hire smart people. Don't be afraid to do that. Another one.
Okay.
Passion. Passion. You've got to be, I think, passionate about what you're doing. Do I really have a passion for making widgets or selling widgets or whatever, running a nonprofit, whatever it might be? And can you be the best at it? I have a passion for it, but can I be the very best at it? In Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, he talks about that concept, be passionate and be the best at it. If you can't, get out of it. And he talked about a company, I think, that had multiple divisions, and those divisions did well. This one, though, they were passionate about, but weren't real passionate about. I think it was the paper good division, toilet paper and paper towels. I said, you know what? We got some passion for this, but we can't be the best at it. There's just too much competition. They spun it off and focused on the things they could be good at. Stock price soared. Yeah. So
that's good.
Be passionate and be the best at whatever you can do. Years ago, we sold off our credit card portfolio. We realized we can't be the best at this. And we thrived in other areas because we focused on those that we could be passionate about and could be the best at. Yeah. Last one.
Okay.
Last one.
Then I'll ask you a really hard question.
Okay. In no particular order, but none of these. But have fun. Have fun. Create an environment.
We did occasionally, didn't we?
We did.
And some of it was good-natured ribbing. Some of it was me interrupting you too. That was always fun for me. Carry on.
Doing good. You said it, good sport. Be a good sport about it. Be kind, but have fun. Studies show that I think that several of them do that making money is on the list, but it's not the highest thing. Some people it's the highest thing. But if you can have fun and enjoy your job, oftentimes that exceeds the monetary compensation value. Yeah, it does. My wife says it releases endorphins. It's a hormone that comes in when we smile and we laugh. So it just creates just a good attitude, and attitudes are huge. Back when you and I worked together, I remember we had some cornhole tournaments in the office. One day, a couple of folks brought some Nerf guns. There were some Nerf gun fights going on.
I've got some Nerf stories. I have one of the Nerf guns right up there on my shelf.
So we had fun. We had an operational team that was in an area of the bank that didn't have any windows, and the managers decided they would get a disco ball and turn the lights down low. And every day at 11 o'clock or 11:30, they'd have a dance minute. Turn the disco ball on, crank up the music, and you broke out your best booty. Just shake your thing, and we danced. But it was fun. So people want to be a part.
It's a good thing I was in finance.
Yeah. I went down there a few times. They don't want to see me dance. But they were having fun. That's an important part, I think, of having a strong cultural base for your organization.
It's good.
Yeah. Again, books have been written. I'll share with you a book here at the end. I think it's phenomenal, called The Culture Code, written by Daniel Cole. But those are just some things I think about when I think of culture and how to build a strong culture in your company.
So here's the tricky question I want to ask you. Look, finance people, there's stereotypes about us. Why should this even matter to us?
Great question. Harvard did a study years ago. They took several companies that had, in their opinion, strong culture. Okay, they watched them for 10 years, compared them to companies, in their opinion, that did not have strong culture. The bottom line of those companies with strong culture over that 10-year period, here's a number for you, was up 756% based on culture. So that's why I think it matters. It matters to everybody in the organization. Everyone matters. My wife likes to watch NASCAR. She got me watching the other day. Those cars are running 200 miles an hour and they're this far apart. It's just amazing. it takes every cylinder clicking to make that engine run. All those parts have to go together. If one cylinder's not working, the engine will still run, but you're not going to win. You'll get around the track, but you're not going to win. So it takes everybody. Yeah, sales and marketing may get the limelight, you know, IT, compliance, finance, accounting, don't sometimes, but it doesn't matter. It takes everybody living out that culture to make that engine run and run smoothly and be effective. Whether you're a part-timer or you're an executive vice president, it takes everybody on the team, everybody in the family working for that cultural machine to move. Yeah,
Well,
that's why it's important.
Any other thoughts before I wind us up here?
Yeah, there's a story I want to share. Pixar,
Okay.
the movie company, actually two quick ones. When you're hired at Pixar, whether you're a part-time barista or you're a director, you're brought in day one. So on the fifth row of the movie viewing auditorium, this is where all the directors preview the movies before they go out. And you're told, you're a Pixarian now, that's what they call themselves, a Pixarian. Your job is to help us make better movies, period. So you know day one, there's a culture here. We're gonna make darn good movies. I'm a part-timer or I'm a director, doesn't matter. Another story, and I'll wrap up with this one, I love this one. There was a restaurant in Dallas that we went to years ago with another couple. The man that started this restaurant had built an empire of restaurants and sold them off and done very well financially. Started from scratch years ago. His non-compete had gone away. He was starting his first new restaurant. So we went, and the food is phenomenal. Guess who came by the table? The man, the myth, the legend, there he was. Probably at that time in his mid to late 70s, maybe early 80s, somewhere in there. He stopped and sat down and talked to us at our table. One of the questions we asked him, says, you've been very successful, not only in the restaurant business, but in other businesses. What's one secret to your success? He said, well, I'm in the business of restaurants, so yes, I have to make good food, that's a given. But people have to feel better about themselves when they leave your business than before they came in. So, that's good. That's good. Tell me that again. He said, people have to feel better about themselves when they leave your business than before they came in. So can I get that? That's good. How do you do that in a restaurant?
Well, he's just done it with you.
He said, I'm doing it right now.
Right. I said, there you go.
You sure are. You sure. I will never forget that story.
Gary, that's
Focus on people.
It's about people.
Focus on people. Serve people. And the golden rule. Your culture will play out from there.
That's good, Gary.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is a topic we could keep going on.
We could.
But Gary, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for taking some time to share your thoughts. Appreciate you. Grateful to have had you in my life.
Absolutely.
And grateful they get to hear some of this. Lots of good stuff here to think about. Thanks for listening.